What's going on, nuts? What's going on? Oh, my nuts itch. Speaking of my nuts itch. Honey, I'm so congested today.
He nailed it though
Honey,
because you're
I
just
swear,
steamrolling.
if you tell another poop story, I'm gonna leave.
Is this what we
Oh,
sound
honey,
like
you
to
know I've
people?
got a bunch of poop stories.
If it is, then it's
Remember that one
genius.
time? Remember that one time, nuts? This is Agent.
Oh, you said Agent Doty at the end. This is
Oh.
Agent Doty from the future. That was a clip we got from a friend.
Well, and a listener, obviously.
Oh, he's our number one fan.
We are making it.
Now, the thing is should I say him name and give him praise? Or should we just edge? Should we just
Let's
edge
edge.
who it is?
Let's edge.
Yeah.
And over time, like it'll be a mystery for our other people to solve, our other people listening. Give them something to do, like a little game. It's a couple of nuts game.
This is A Couple of Nuts Talking, the podcast.
Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking.
What's going on, Nuts?
What's up?
Hey, Nuts. My nuts itch.
Who would
Oh,
have thunk?
Speaking of nuts, I was trying
Yeah,
to do what he
I know,
said.
but that doesn't make
Oh,
sense because he tries to do what we do.
shit.
So you just get to be yourself.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
I promise that you just being yourself will make it sound exactly like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Good.
Because I love me.
I know. So do I.
I love you
I
too.
taught you to
I
love.
love you too.
I taught you to love you.
I love you too.
You know what's interesting about love? Did you know this? I mean, it's going to be not in this book, but in my next book. Is that when you fall in love, like that's not real. What's real is when you love somebody, you're not giving them any feeling from you and adding to their world.
I'm having deja vu right now. You talked about this or I'm in a different dimension right now.
It's probably because you're not the one talking, so you're not listening.
No, I remember this exactly, you saying these exact words. It might have even been the last episode we did.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's that important.
Okay.
But when you fall in love with somebody, you are actually just deciding to fall in love with yourself. And the other person's deciding to love themselves. And so together there is love, but it's just your love of yourself.
You definitely said this in another episode. But yeah.
I've also just talked to you about it.
What's some of your favorite love songs? You got any?
Yeah, In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel.
In your eyes, the light, the heat of your eyes,
I am complete.
it's all right. What's love
Peter Gabriel
got
does
to do? That's not a
say
good one.
weird words. No. I don't.
I'm not a
I'm
big
not a
fan of
Tina
that
Tan.
one.
I'm not a Tina Turner fan.
Tina Tanner?
Tina Tanner.
Yeah, that was a crazy movie though. Did you ever see that?
Tina Tanner.
Tina Tanner's movie? Tina Turner's movie with
No.
Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne?
No.
You never saw that?
I don't need to see it.
O-M.
Do I have to listen to
Gee.
Tina Turner's music?
Oh, she sings, and it's Angela Bassett.
No, I know. I can't.
As Tina
She's the one who
Turner.
says Valentine's Day with an M.
Times.
And no one corrects her. Not one director. I've literally seen her in 2 things now where she says Valentine's Day.
Maybe that's the way it is.
It isn't.
Maybe you're having some Mandela effect,
It's-
and that's
It genuinely makes my skin crawl when I hear people do that.
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day. Not necessarily like out in the world, but if I see it on a TV or movie,
Yeah.
then I have a
Because
problem.
that should be corrected.
It should be corrected. And then it's kind of like walking around with egg on your face and none of your friends telling you.
I used to say library.
Exactly. If someone were to say that, I mean, unless you're doing a comedy and it's funny.
I used to say drebroom instead of bedroom.
People say February. No R.
February. Yeah, I used to say drebroom. I want to clean my drebroom, Mom.
But you know what's funny is we do that shit now.
I know.
You should hear the way Sean and I talk to each other. We just make shit up, but we both know exactly what we're saying.
That's love.
That is love.
See,
Like we
speaking
talk,
of love.
man, what's one of the thing is like, I don't even know how to do it because it just comes out. It's like a pig Latin, but it's a Fetterman. It's like not even Fetterman. It's just a Bethany Sean language.
Which? What is it?
When we're like,
Well, we talk like
Like
little
we said-
kids to each other.
we definitely do that. But Geber,
Together.
Together.
Because we put B's in everything.
Everything.
So Kempses instead of kisses.
Kempses.
Well, together. What are you
Wobber. Can be wobber.
What's going on out here? Let's go wobber. Give me that wobber, please.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's
then
hard.
pleats. Instead of please, we say pleats.
Oh, we put T's in things.
That's
Lots
love.
of T's.
That's love.
It is. It's pretty cool. But what was I talking about before that though? Oh, just love and stuff, whatever. Anyways, so you don't have to look for love in anyone else. You could just start loving yourself, and then all of a sudden you'll find the right person.
Well, that goes down the road of Satanism. Do you really want to do that, babe?
I do.
You really want to be a Satanist? Because you can't be your own God. And if you're worshiping yourself by loving yourself.
I didn't say anything about being your own God.
Yeah, but you love you're worshiping yourself. You need to be selfless, not self.
Honey, there's a difference between self-love and like ego.
What would you consider self-love?
Self-love is acceptance of yourself, trusting yourself, self-care, taking care of your needs, and not getting lost in somebody else's life.
What are some of your needs?
You don't even know we've been together
I'm
10
asking
years.
you to talk and tell me, what are some of your needs?
My needs are I need to be heard. I need to be listened to.
What? You see what I did there, baby? Now that's comedy. That's comedy.
You're yelling in my ear, and it's only comic.
Nuts.
It's only comedy to you.
Goosh. Okay.
Oh, God.
You need to be heard. What are you looking at right there? My tits?
Your tits.
Are you looking at my tits when I just shook my
I was
shoulders?
looking at I was seeing what was all shaking
Nothing.
after.
Nothing shakes when I move. It's a fucking pure muscle, baby.
Okay. You're also so red now. That took a lot out of you.
Yeah, it does. Moving.
There's a lot of activity outside. I keep looking. What did you ask? Oh, self needs.
Your needs.
Yeah.
What is, and I don't mean like, I mean like, what is your needs and self-love needs? Your self-love needs.
Oh, self-love.
That's what I'm talking about.
Is I need pray. I mean, I pray, which to me is self-love.
Okay.
Like, cause I want to be connected to my higher power.
We got to pray. Pray. Remember that one? Pray just to make it today.
Do you know what's funny? I wouldn't listen to our own podcast.
I know.
Because of you.
I know. Because of me.
Yeah.
MC Hammer, Pray. Killer song. I think that was on the album with You Can't Touch This. I had that on cassette tape.
Okay, so why don't we just move on then? Because I'm not going to be able to answer this.
I'm
and I don't
listening.
think you
I'm just
care.
interjecting me. Hey, I'm giving myself a little self-love. That's all I'm doing.
My self-love is just how I wake up. I set my intention for my day. Like I know that I'm in charge. And
Ooh, you see, now that's what I'm talking about, babe.
I don't mean like I'm in charge of the world. I mean, I am
In charge of your reactions.
correct.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
like, I'm in charge of my feelings, thoughts, and actions. No one else is. No one's got a hand up my asshole, moving my mouth, telling me what to
So
think.
now that's not true because I put my hands down your
You
pants,
do all the
up your
time.
fucking cheeks constantly.
I mean, you know what's funny?
I
Yesterday,
spread them.
Yesterday, I was trying to count and I keep forgetting, but it's in the upwards of, like, if we're together all day, 15 plus times.
Oh, easy.
Easy.
Anytime you are placed in front of me, I will put my hand down your pants and spread your cheeks because you are mine.
Either cheeks. Depends which side you're
I
on.
like to get in there, just the one
get-
hand, and I get the grip, and I could get like my ring finger and my middle finger on each cheek, and just
I don't know who's going to
can spread your cheek just like.
appreciate this conversation.
And I feel the heat down there. I feel the heat, the light, the heat. You,
Your
baby, that's what he's
eyes.
talking about. Her
It
butthole.
could be.
In your brown eye.
No, there's no.
Okay.
So, and then I meditate and I pray. So I set my intention, I meditate, I pray, I stretch.
So this is all self-love.
Yeah, it's self-love,
Self-care.
self-care. Yeah. And then I must be, I'd say in the last 10 years really changed because now I understand to set intention, that I want to help people. I love making people laugh.
Yeah.
And I love writing and my passion, creating. So for me to love myself, I know that my day consists of making people laugh and each other. I mean, that's all we do is crack each other up.
Yeah.
And then I need to be creating something at all times. There's never a moment. I mean, do you know of a time where I'm not in a project of some sort, either writing a script, writing a book, we're in music,
No, you're going hard.
doing stand up
all the time.
Yeah. I don't even have words for it, but it is the epitome of purpose and passion for me.
Creation.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the idea, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We just watched that movie Interstellar the other night with Matthew McConaughey.
Wait, tell us about yours and then we'll talk about Interstellar.
Mine's exactly the same, honey. I mean, we mirror each other, so it's meditation, it's prayer.
You're welcome. You're learning.
And I, it's crazy because before getting sober, I was in it for me all the time. Everything was all about me. And I wasn't like, I don't think, maybe I wasn't like outright that kind of like steamroller bulldozer selfish of a guy.
Just listen to the podcast.
I was, but now, I'm sober now.
Yeah.
I was more of like a stealth, manipulative, like scary, like you didn't know who you had sleeping in your bed next to you.
Yeah, do you know what it reminded me of? What We Do in the Shadows, the energy sucker one.
Yeah.
Where he seems so innocent and vulnerable.
Right.
And then you sit next to him and you cannot move.
Right, and he seemed very
harmless,
and like he didn't know. But then there would be times where he was like looking, and he knew exactly
what he's doing,
what he was doing.
Yeah, I do feel like that's you, which is terrifying.
That's not me anymore. But
No,
before I got sober,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely, honey.
I lived with you.
That was me. But now after getting sober and leaving my ego at the door and munching on a nice slice of humble pie, because I am the most humble person I know.
I feel
it's
like
a contradiction when I say that, because it doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense, but I don't mean that. I just want to spread the good news now.
Yeah, same.
And it's kind of like not like the Jesus. Have you heard the good news? Jesus is coming back, like that. Like it is kind of part of that, because we've become very spiritual over time. And then together it's been really cool that we've grown, like, because I think separate people.
Oh yeah.
But we've grown together in our spirituality. But I just want to spread the good news of joy, and not only joy, but like you said, create, because we create reality. Human beings are the creators.
Yes.
I mean, not of the earth and life and what
it looks
too,
like. Yes.
But what the music, the movies, the style, everything you see around us was created by people.
But that's also why it's tricky, because not every person on the planet or being is for our benefit.
Well, the majority of people, and I don't want to judge, but I guess I am judging, they don't add to the creation. They just take from the creation.
Yeah.
As a consumer.
Yeah.
But
that's what they're programmed to be,
that's
since
not
they're
their
a little
fault.
baby nugget.
Right.
I mean, but it is their fault for still being in it. Like at some point, by the way, it was us. We were consumers. It was, I need everything that I'm programmed to need, and I'm not enough.
But still consume. I mean, we still do obviously consume.
Well, I mean, but there's a difference between, to me, like necessity versus want.
Yeah.
Necessity is, will it add to my life and improve my life? Where want is just, it's the look of getting what I want. And then when I get it, I'm not happy. Like, for instance, and I'm not saying this always happens, guys. I'm always.
This does happen a lot, though, because you see a lot of these people that.
No, and I'm saying with myself.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, and like,
you
I
see
never buy things I
musicians
don't
and
want.
movie stars and rich people that kill themselves, or just
all the time.
It's crazy how many of them die.
I mean, it's crazy working in the industry, the other industry that I work in, which is facilitating in rehab facilities where people are struggling with either mental health or addiction. And there's a couple places I work that are strictly kind of the higher
Keep it good.
bracket.
Keep the HIPAA safe, baby.
Oh God, no! I'm not telling. Please, I've never.
I know.
But no, I'm saying like the money bracket. You know, I work the gamut. I
Is
work
that
people.
the upper echelon.
Yes, And to me, what's interesting is as they come out of detox, where I'll call them like people who had to hit their knee, or, you know, were on their knees because they lost everything.
Rock bottoms, compared to those who still have like just, at least for money wise, are not hurting at all. Yeah.
And they come out of detox. The difference of how the soul feels and
Right.
how the connection feels is very different. I'm not saying all the time, but I am saying that majority of the time.
So the people
a
with
high
less
percentage
have a higher vibration than the people with more.
Correct.
Now I think it's layered there, I think, because the people that have more responsibility. Whereas the people like me that go into a treatment center with nothing don't have the responsibility, the financial responsibilities of, say, a house payment and a family to take care of. So I kind of understand.
I'm talking about people, though, who have so much money, like somebody's handling for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they never have to think, like, I better pay the water bill. Like, it's paid. Like, they have people for it.
Right,
There's
they're probably
money,
not sitting
revenue.
there thinking about that stuff.
No.
that I just said.
What where I believe the connection comes from, because I have to do a lot of different work with those people, is that when you have everything handed to you, and I don't mean they didn't work for their money. Really, please don't dissect this. I'm saying this in an umbrella statement. But when you don't struggle in all areas, it cripples your ability to be humble. And it cripples your ability to basically judge something that they've been their whole life, which is always, I have, they don't. Where somebody who hits rock bottom, who, by the way, could have come from a shit ton of money and then lost it all.
Yeah.
There's such a humility in it. There has to be, because you're like, oh my God, I have nothing. I've burned every bridge.
Yeah.
I have no one. And then they turn to God, or they turn to higher power or something like that.
Yeah.
But they also turn to, this can't be my life. Where I think that the other side of that coin is, I don't know. And I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying this is fact, but like, I can buy my way out of this, or it's not rock bottom. It's just another thing they're doing.
Right.
So in other words, they don't invest 100%. They're just kind of going through it when it's really about connection.
Most people that enter treatment don't give it 100%. They think, it feels like you do, but the majority of people don't make it. The majority.
Well, correct. Yeah. But I think that once, I'm talking about the people who want to get clean.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Because there are people who come on their knees, rock bottom, and they don't want to be there.
You
A
come on
judgment
your knees, don't you?
from a court told them to be there.
You
or
come on your
a
knees, don't you,
family
baby?
a family member.
I said it
Unfortunately,
twice.
I did. I heard it the first time. It's
I said you
just
cumps. That's another one, cumps.
cumps. Yeah. It's a
Oh, geez,
favorite
I'm going to
part.
cumps. My favorite part, I'm going to cumps right now.
But mind you, this is all just kind of a blanket statement. Obviously, there are exceptions. There are, like all of these things. But in my experience of doing this 10 years and working all different places, and by the way, the people who are at rock bottom with nothing, they have different struggles.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? They have like they have different blocks.
Okay, herpes, hepatitis C,
Right.
just fucking all that, man.
Well.
oh, man, I was thinking about that this morning. I was thinking about, it's interesting, I didn't know we were going to talk about love and self-love and stuff like that. But I was this morning thinking about
Self-loving yourself?
not just a lot of my adult life, like I fucked off. And I was I've been in and out of treatment since like 2009, which is crazy because it's 2025, And
longer than, honey, when I met you, you had to go to treatment. So what do you mean? It's longer than 2009.
we met
Oh, you're
2015,
saying,
honey.
right.
Yeah. The first time I went to rehab was in 2009.
Oh, you're saying, I thought you were giving like the gamut. Never mind.
I was talking just about me and my
So you're saying it started in 2009?
Me going in, I mean, my fuckery started much earlier than that. Oh my God.
That's why I didn't understand what you were saying.
I remember
Tell people though like what year did it start?
Like when I really started abusing alcohol and drugs and stuff like that?
Yeah, where your life went in the shitter.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It went in the shitter when I met this girl. When my first love. That was it. And
That's weird because we didn't meet till later.
Right. Right. I was 15 or 16. Now, the first time I smoked pot, I was probably 12, maybe even 11. A buddy of mine, his dad did cocaine. My dad did cocaine.
I don't know if my dad did cocaine.
I feel like everybody's dad did cocaine.
I'd be surprised if he wouldn't, just because he's a strip clubber.
Yeah, he did some bumps.
Yeah, he did bumpies.
He did bumps.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, my buddy's dad had coke and weed, and we sprinkled some coke on the weed. And I was either 11 or 12.
Wow, coke on weed at 11 or 12.
Yeah, no idea, clearly, like, what was going on. Don't really remember much of it.
You probably would have been even taller if you hadn't done all these alcohol and drugs.
I
Yeah.
got started early,
That
but
sucks.
I didn't start abusing until... See, in high school, I started doing acid, like, every weekend. And
You
then,
didn't let me finish my joke. I was going to say, that sucks. I really like tall guys.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to what you're saying.
Oh, God. Baby, I'm fucking 6'1" on a good day.
I'm 6'1". You just can't see it.
Legit, though, Nuts, I'm 5'11" and a half. And that half is a lot because when I wear my docs, I'm 6 feet, finally. But 5'11" and a half is a curse. I'll tell you,
Why?
it's a curse.
No, it's not. It's beautiful.
Not. No.
Go
I feel
ahead,
like I'm
continue.
towering over people, actually, a lot of the time, which is weird. Like,
In
are people
LA,
getting smaller?
LA is where like tiny people flock, I think. Honestly, because then you go to the Midwest, you go to Texas, you go to Florida, you go to anywhere in Kansas, Missouri, like
Short people do flock
Wyoming,
here.
Montana. They're big men.
It's because all those people in Hollywood are tiny.
That's what I'm saying. They want to feel bigger, so on camera, no one can tell how tall you are.
Yeah.
And then they all lie about their age. You know, I didn't get a part. I was up for a major part. I basically had it. And the lead actor, in his contract, you cannot be over 5'7".
Well, you could just say who it is for entertainment purposes
It was
only.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. He's like 5'4".
Mm-hmm.
He's a little man. And
Yeah.
he's gotten even little. He's gotten
I'm
to
sorry,
that
not
point.
5'7", 5'6", because I'm 5'7" and a half.
Those actors,
on my
too,
resume.
a lot of those actors that were huge have turned into their bodies have, like, sunk into, like, a ball. So
This
they're
was a long time ago, though, so he was still upright.
I know. I'm just saying. But if you look at them now, upright, that's funny. If you look at them, they're like Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. Their torsos are a ball. And then they got these little stringy arms like
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head bodies.
Yeah, like they have, I almost said, but this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
But they have like reptile bodies where like, you know, when you
Yeah.
see an iguana or a
Oh,
gecko,
yeah.
they have a thicker middle and then little tiny Rex arms.
Yeah.
But like who do we know has it? Like Ben Stiller has it.
Oh, he's in it.
He's in it.
He's got it. Johnny
Who else did
Depp.
we just see? Like Johnny Depp had it. We just saw one where we're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Tom Hardy's looking real fucking haggard,
He
too.
looks, I mean, unless it's just the Venom movie, they make him look that way because, you know,
Yeah, but something's going on with that guy.
even though Venom is basically a story of Satan. If you didn't know that, now watch those movies and you'll totally get it.
Whoa.
You
Wait a minute.
didn't know that?
I was talking
Hold
about.
on.
I was
No,
talking
no.
about me.
Right, remember that. But I wanted to. Who else did we find had the like big old midsections? We were just watching and they took their shirt off.
I
We
think
were
it was
like,
Ben Stiller.
no, it was another one. Was it Adam Sandler?
No. He's just a blob of a
no.
person.
Oh man, I wish because then I want you guys all to go look and you're gonna be like, holy cow! They're all rib cage, like bigger rib cage than
Tom Cruise
normal.
has
Tom
that.
Cruise
Yeah.
has it.
Throwback, because we just did that episode about
Yeah,
cruise control.
All right, go ahead, talk about you.
Anyways, back to me. God, who doesn't have that body? Thank God. I did used to have that fear though. There were days, hon, because I used to drink all day, every day, and I'd be really hungover at my office job. So I got an office job. I started drinking a lot right before 21. I want to say like 19 years old, 20 years old. I looked older. So I found this one liquor store where I could go in and buy booze. And
Well, you looked older because you started doing drugs and alcohol when you were 11.
well, I had fucking dreadlocks and I had a goatee, like
yeah.
just the chin goatee and the
Mhm.
flavor saver right
Yeah.
under the lip.
You.
God, that's a yeah. That
You
was
know what the worst is when you watch a guy who has that and he curls his bottom lip
oh yeah.
so that he could take his teeth and
Fucking
go over it.
suck
Oh,
on,
it's
comb
so
it.
gross.
Comb the flavor saver.
I'm just like, that smells like your old spit, yo, if someone were to kiss you.
But the fuckery, yeah, that's when the fuckery started. And I remember very vividly the first beer that I downed and got the buzz, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is it." That was when I was with that.
This is it.
When I was with that girl.
Make no mistake, it is.
So that's what it's like when I sing
Yeah,
in the middle
see?
of you talking. Damn,
But I
that is
stop.
annoying.
But I stop.
That is annoying.
Yeah. I stop after 2 lines because everyone knows what song I'm talking about, and I don't need to beat the dead frog.
So like, and then like senior year high school, me and the buds would party, the band, and I would just chug. We'd get a bottle of Smirnoff, and I would chug it like it was a beer. Like I fucking would get alcohol poisoning all the time. I'd throw up and be like, "Blah, I'm good," and then start drinking again.
Oh my gosh.
And what was it? Yeah, and that's the kind of fuckery. So like late teens is when I really started fucking around, and then I found pills in my early 20s. From, not that it's her fault. This was also the girl that I got heroin from for the first time too. So this girl that I dated when I was like 15, we kept in contact. Unfortunately, and you know, she introed me to opiates. You know, and it's not her fault. It's me. I made the choice to do it, but like.
And actually, not unfortunately, because I feel like everything we've been through in our lives, not just you and I'm talking in general as human beings, make you who you are right here, right now.
Oh, 100%.
And
I don't regret any of the past. Like it's, you know, obviously I could sit there and think if I didn't do that, and
that's what I meant. Like I
my
could visualize that.
Music career would have been huger. Like it would have been great because it was fucking handed to me on a platter, and I completely fucked it up. But
babe, but that's my life too in some aspects.
But was that God's protection?
Yeah, exactly. That's literally
what did we avoid?
Honey, now that we know everything about it, about Hollywood, for entertainment purposes only.
I'd be dead.
Yeah, because we're too curious.
I'd be dead.
We're too curious, and we find things out. I mean, I'm not.
I mean, I wouldn't be dead from, you know, exposing the truth. I'd be dead from drugs and alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
I'd probably be dead from rebellion. Of being like, what, you know, or whatever.
Outing the cabal. Yeah, you would be.
I would be like, what the hell is this?
Fucking reptilians are running Hollywood.
This doesn't feel good.
Needs to know.
Yes, this doesn't feel like God stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may notice we mentioned God a bit, nuts. And we just want to make it clear. We're not talking about any organized religion or anything like that. It's not that. We've just opened our hearts and our minds up to a power greater than ourselves, and our lives have gotten substantially better.
It's not even substantially better for me. It is night and day. It
It's
is like I'm
game-change.
a different person, honey. I do not navigate the planet the same way at all.
Yeah.
The way I see things, the way I interact with people, the way I go home and think about myself, and the way I think about what happened, whatever transpired that day. Every single thing in my life has changed.
Yeah.
Everything was fear-based.
Yeah.
Everything. It was every story that were lies and fake in my brain that I would go, that person didn't like me. Enough.
Right.
I need to do more here. How come that didn't like everything was a puzzle that I needed to solve about other people, when really I just needed to solve what was going on with me and my connection to nothingness. My connection was they have, I don't, how do I get it?
Right.
And now it's I have, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Except
Me.
HP.
Me.
No, higher power. God.
Oh. And me.
Okay. Jesus.
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 Yeah.
So that's another thing we say, how we say it. It's with Z's. Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah. Again, not an organized religion. I do not identify as Christian or Catholic, or Sean's Jewish.
Yeah, by blood.
By blood, right.
Blood. Emphasis on the ish. We were like holiday religion.
You got to have
religious
both of
people.
them.
That was it. We celebrated Christmas and Hanukkah, Passover, and no bar mitzvah or anything like that.
By the way, I dated a ton of Jews,
Yeah.
and I feel like every single one of them said the same thing.
Yeah.
Every single one of them said, I don't know much about it. We celebrate both.
Well, you wouldn't have dated a real Jew
correct,
because
right.
a Jew would only date another Jew.
Although I will say one of the moms, more than one of the moms, would call me shiksa, which I feel like is Yiddish for like, I think just non-Jewish girl, right? Just
Yeah.
whatever.
My mom probably would have done that too. She threw some Yiddish words out there.
Yeah. And they, I got poo-pooed on because of it.
Oh,
So
my mom wouldn't have done that to you.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, whatever. People do that.
But
Didn't
yeah,
bother me.
So that was my fuckery, and that's what I was thinking about this morning while making breakfast. Not the whole time, but that thought crossed my head. It just entered my head like, wow, I fucking in and out of treatment quite a few times. I've been there, and I'm so grateful that I did because it introduced me to so many things.
Yeah.
And so many ways to view life. Speaking of self-love, I mean, that's why I was kind of just bringing it back to the self-care and the self-love. Like, it introduced me to meditation, prayer, and like you said, seeing the world in a more lighter, much more beautiful way. Now, I still lose my cool and my serenity quite often, but now I have these tools on how to deal with it, and it really happens in the car a lot. A lot in the car, I lose my cool.
It also happens when you're watching the Ring cameras.
Oh, yeah. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, there's people out there doing some bullshit. We had, oh, God.
Hold on. Hold that story.
Ring update.
No, let me say one more thing. Because I feel like HP's telling me to say it to help anyone out there who is wondering what we're talking about. And they call it a spiritual awakening. And I think that the closer you get, the more you have of those. It's not like just one time you get a spiritual awakening. At least for me, it's not just one time. Like almost every day, I'll experience some sort of moment where I feel closer to something bigger than myself than I did the day before. But the way when Sean and well, again, I'll just speak for myself. When I say I see things differently in the world, what I mean is, and I think Sean said this in the opening of it, there are people on the planet who take from it, and there are people on the planet who give. And when you don't have humility in your life, or you have something greater than yourself, you feel like you walk out the door and how do I get as much stuff as I can? How do I get whatever my agenda is? And the way I see things different now is how can I add to the world?
Yeah.
What can I give to other people it's going to make me cry. But And I think the reason is I never thought I was good enough to give anything.
Right.
I never thought anyone would want anything I have. It never stopped me from creating.
Yeah.
I still created, but I believed the Hollywood when
She's
they would say
getting teared
no.
up right now. Nuts.
Because creation for me, even though you aren't what you do, it's such a big part of who I am, like how I navigate the world. I just want to create all the time. I know that probably is going to sound, I hope it doesn't sound pretentious because I don't mean it like I'm this thing.
No, but here's the deal. We need the takers just as much as we need the givers.
Correct.
And this morning, I blew my own mind because I was reading through some of my lyrics I saved on my phone. And then I wrote a lyric that said, nothing matters. It really does. Do you see what I just did there? Because without nothing, there wouldn't be anything. Just like without light, there wouldn't be dark. Without dark, there wouldn't be light.
Creation is making something out of nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing would anything wouldn't exist without nothing.
Right.
Nothing,
it starts from nothing.
Nothing matters. See, I've completely flipped the switch
Baby,
on those fucking two words.
Nothing is no thing.
Nothing matters, but in the best way.
Right.
You see what I did? I blew my
I don't
own
know if
mind
you
nuts.
did not,
I was
but-
sitting out there this morning, early morning wake sesh this morning, sitting out there by my lonesome. I was listening to some shit, getting a little inspiration going on. Depeche Mode, actually. I was listening to them this morning.
All I ever wanted.
No. I was saying,
All
try
I
walking
needed.
in my shoes.
Your personal
No.
G's
I wasn't
dot.
listening to that album.
I know.
No.
I was just singing songs, babe.
Songs of Faith and Devotion, it's called.
Mhm.
I never listened to that
And by the
album.
way, is he out or am I outing him if I say what he is?
What? An addict?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it's well known that he's a
Okay,
recovering
so yeah, he's a
heroin addict.
recovering heroin
Yeah.
addict. So a lot of those words are extremely powerful.
What was I just saying, though?
So
Oh, man.
nothing out of some. I mean, you're beating the dead iguana
Because
again.
I blew my own mind.
Yeah, but I don't know
man.
if everyone else's mind is blowing. Like we hear you,
Oh, it was something.
guys.
that
If you haven't noticed, Nuts, I'm really trying to rein Sean in. So I'm
Wow.
hoping for the new upcoming
Wow.
80+ episodes that we just. Well, here's why. This is so great.
Why don't you bring us home,
Yeah,
hon?
here's a perfect example. We just watched the movie Substance, okay?
Wait a minute, but here's no. I mentioned Interstellar earlier, and I would like to get back to that before we talk about
Let's make
another
this
movie.
a two-parter. We'll cut it in half. Absolutely.
I
Let's
can't-
go.
I don't like it
So
when
go
you do-
Interstellar.
I don't like it when you do
I don't
that.
care.
I like just
We do
doing
once in a while.
episode after episode.
No, we do it once in a while.
It doesn't have to be 2 parts.
It's going to be two-parter because we already mentioned Interstellar. Go. What did you want to
Here's
say
what
about
I wanted
it?
to talk about Interstellar. Christopher Nolan, Matthew McConaughey, Topher Grace. Topher Grace is an underrated one, huh? He kind of just pops up in a lot
I think
of
it's
movies.
probably because he's associated with Ashton Kutcher and
Is he
that
a
other
Scientol-
one who
Is he a Scientologist?
thinks
Topher Grace?
I don't quote me on that. You want me to look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Interstellar, I just watched it for the first time. Now I saw Hans Zimmer perform some of the songs from Interstellar live, and
So
it
did I.
was fucking
Beautiful.
gorgeous. My God! And now I get it after seeing that movie.
I know just remember where you're going. I would have never in a million years dreamt of going to see a composer as a concert. I don't know why, but because they're not singing and it's not there. You know what I mean? It's very
Well,
weird
that's-
and everyone else is playing and they're not. And Sean, I'm just letting you know, that blew my mind.
You're welcome, because you would have never done that.
I would
without
have
me.
never. I would have been like, no. Why would I go see some Hans Zimmer? I mean, I knew who he was, but why would I go see him
You're welcome.
stand there while everyone else is playing his music? Do you see why it seems weird to me?
Well, he played the music too.
I know he did. I didn't even know he would do that. Anyways, it was
very
awesome.
entertaining. But I was more. Now, this is, I guess, spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen Interstellar, thanks for listening
like
to us.
10 years old.
I know, but I mean, I just saw it for the first time. Spoiler alert. So, McConaughey
yeah, he's a Scientologist.
Topher Grace
Yeah.
is. That's why he's popping up and
Yeah.
everything. Gets sucked into this wormhole, then it time travels, and then he's sending messages to his daughter to save the world and stuff like that. But it was what really hit me was when he's behind the bookcase and there's all the tiny lines
Yep.
of
Particles, atoms.
memories or of events.
Mhm.
All the lines.
Oh, you mean in the back, not in
behind
the
the
room.
library,
Uh-huh.
not in front. When he's trying to, all the small, tiny little dental floss lines are events that happened,
Mhm.
play-by-play events. And did you know that you could go on Google Maps and you could Google Map a time and an address,
I did.
and
just
that
hear
time is still there on the fucking internet?
That's
like,
amazing.
I've seen
That's
some people.
awesome.
I know. I've been wanting to look up ones of my mom if my old house address.
Like see if she's walking or
if
something.
she's walking
yeah.
or she's in her car, because they've been seeing these TikTok posts where like somewhere on the internet, my father who passed away so and so is in the garden in our old house in
Aw.
1998. Really nice stuff.
Yeah.
But I think about that, and I think about those small lines of each little play-by-play event, and that is what's happening right now.
Well, but also know that all of those are options as well. They aren't all ones that occurred. They were possibilities. In other words, remember when he puts the paper next to each other and says that time collapses on itself? Like it's all happening at the same time.
I don't think that's what it was, honey. I think they were all events that had happened. That's why they were there. That's why they existed.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any future existed. He was
No.
making the future happen by sending the Morse code.
Right, but you understand he was creating in the future messages to the past, meaning they're collapsed on each other.
Right, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. All those past memories were events that had happened and
Mhm.
passed.
Mhm.
Hence past.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nuts. Wow, this got a lot deeper than I thought it would at the end of the episode. Whoa.
So we're not going to talk about.
We'll talk about it another. We'll talk about it another time. It doesn't even part 1, part 2.
But I
Honey,
mean,
just
it's
every
it's
episode.
because it went so seamlessly into it.
Every episode is a continuance
That's
of
sad,
the
'cause
last
it was going to be a
episode.
really good thing, but whatever.
Nuts.
Whatever. Once again, Steamroller.
Thanks
Sean.
for hanging out with
Sean
us.
Steamroller Fetterman.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Nuts, and thanks for that opening message. Loop. Lupe. I'm not gonna say your name.
No,
I'm just
you-
gonna edge it. I'm just
But
gonna
you have to
edge
take
the
that
name,
out.
opening message.
You have to bleep it.
What?
Because we've already talked about Luke. They're gonna know. You can't say Luke.
Oh, now we said it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to edit. I don't want to deal with that. So there it is. Thanks for the opening message, Luke. We appreciate it.
Dang
Real fun.
honey. That was gonna be our sleep token mystery for
Yeah,
people. Now
I
we gotta
know.
come up with a new one.
Let's give it to him.
All right, stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Kim
Kim
sings.
says
Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking